Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to a new episode of the Reveal Rob Show. I am, of course, as always, your host, Reveal Rob, coming at you with all the latest in news. Not a whole lot of news to talk about this week, to be honest with you. I got to talk about two humongous trailers that released since the last time we talked. Good old Super Bowl weekend bringing the trailers to us. And, we're going to talk about what's releasing this week, and I've got a review for you, as you can tell by the title. Going to be talking about Death on the Nile, as I saw that last week. Thursday night stream, which is probably the way I'm going to be going for this week to see Uncharted. We'll get more into that later on. And my feelings about Uncharted is going to be an interesting episode next week for sure. We'll see. Who knows? Maybe I like the movie. Maybe I'm judging it too soon. Who knows? Maybe I'm judging it too harshly because I love video games and I'm freaking nervous. Anyways, welcome to the show. Hope everybody out there has been doing good since the last time we talked. If you are a Los Angeles Rams fan, you are doing very well right now. Congratulations to you and your team for winning the Super Bowl, I guess I can say that. A little heartbroken for my boy Joe Burrow losing, but those are the breaks when it comes to football. He'll be back. I'm not worried about that. I am a Houston Texans fan, so I'm hoping morely that the Houston Texans will be representing the AFC eventually, but we got some things to repair. But nonetheless, congratulations to my boys Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase for making the Super Bowl and doing things with the Bengals that nobody expected to be done. That's enough for the sports talk, though. The sport we talk about on here is sports entertainment. I'm talking WWE. Just finished watching Raw. Pretty good episode, man. We got the Elimination Chamber happening this Saturday in Saudi Arabia at a special start time of 12 p.m. That's Eastern Standard Time, so be ready for that. Premiere event, not pay-per-view. They've gotten rid of pay-per-view, which makes, I guess, sense because we don't do the whole pay-per-view event thing anymore. We do, through the Peacock for most people. I don't even know if the pay-per-view option's available anymore. But you are paying for Peacock, so you're still paying to view, and I've gone cross-eyed. That is an Austin Powers reference. Speaking of Dr. Evil, the Evil Bunch, we're back for a Super Bowl commercial and all that stuff, man. The Super Bowl is bringing the stuff, man. Like I said, we got two massive trailers last week, starting it off, of course, with the Jurassic World Dominion trailer that dropped on us. Just absolutely goosebump inducing the whole time for me watching that trailer, because I love the Jurassic franchise. I grew up with it. Jurassic Park is still my all-time favorite film after all these years, and that's never going to change. I feel very confident saying that's never going to change. It's just an absolutely incredible film, and now in this trailer, we've seen photos, but we now get our first look of the original three returning. We see some interaction between Dr. Alan Grant, Dr. Ellie Sadler, and just, it's so cool and awesome. We now see the dinosaurs all around the world, and we see freaking, how are they going to deal with this? And we see, freaking Owen and a raptor chasing them like it's a fucking James Bond movie, and you got baby freaking Blue now. Oh my god, we got Blue and her baby. It is just all that incredible. Finally, the Dilophosaurus shows up in this trilogy after waiting so long. We're like, where the hell's the Dilophosaurus at, man? Where is this dinosaur? Finally, this trailer gives us a glimpse of the Dilophosaurus. It's going to be incredible. I can't wait to see how they figure these things out, how to get the dinosaurs captured and back in. You got even bigger dinosaurs, so there's a hint that they've created another dinosaur, because remember Dr. Wu is still around, it's still a thing, so maybe he's still creating dinosaurs out there, because that, again, at the end of the trailer they give us a hint, why are they always got to go bigger? So apparently something else was created, right? Because the Indominus Rex, we saw that fall in the first film, and then the Indoraptor, we saw that fall in the second film, which I guess spoilers for those two films if you haven't seen them already. It's been a couple years, so the spoiler is the spoiler threats or warning or getting in trouble for spoiling things is lifted, I guess. I don't know. I don't like spoiling stuff. Feeling a little bit bad about that just then. But at the same time, I'm kind of rambling on here. And again, it's been a couple years, man. You've had time to see the movie. I like when I don't get mad when people spoil films that have been out for years. I could have seen them. I didn't see them. Anyways, I'm super excited about Jurassic World Dominion. It is definitely a highly anticipated film for me for this year. Come on. We got like a snippet of some of the stuff coming from DC with their films. They've got 4 films releasing this year, only 3 that I care about. I'm not going into that, but you know why if you've been with me with this show. But yeah, I've got some more look of the Flash freaking super stoked and excited about it, man. Cannot wait to see that movie. The Batman, we're getting closer and closer to that movie finally being here. We're going to be talking more about the Batman here in a little bit as it got, when I get into the mandatory DC portion of the show. And we saw some more Black Adam, which my feelings of Black Adam, the first teaser we got with that, very badass, very like Mortal Kombat style and all that. Newer trailer, I don't know how I'm feeling, man. We got to look at some of the characters. Dr. Fate looks awesome. You know, is this movie going to be very much like, you know, a typical Rock movie, or what's going to happen? So I'm interested to see where everything goes. You know, we'll see how that pans out, but I'm excited. Nonetheless, for those 3 films, the other one, fuck it. Unless somebody gives me a spoiler of a certain character dying in that movie, then I will gladly go to the movie theaters, stand my ass up when that moment happens and applaud, because that's what should be done, damn it. But it's neither here nor there. Or, you know what, it is there, and we'll figure it out when we get there. When I say we, I mean my friends who watch that movie and let me know what happens, because I'm not seeing it. Not gonna happen. Unless a certain something happens. Then I'll gladly go see it. And again, I'll gladly be applauding in theaters. Everybody will be looking at me, what the fuck, man? Why are you applauding this character's death? Because fuck them. That's why. Alright. Another big trailer that dropped this week. The other big one was freaking the movie Nope. I'm just kidding. Not hating on Nope. That is not the other big trailer I'm going to talk about. I will talk about the Nope trailer real quick, though. Interesting. Doesn't give a whole lot to us. Definitely feels, feeling that thought that it is going to deal with aliens. I'll tell you what, I'm going to see it. I really enjoyed Jordan Peele's other 2 films with Get Out and Us. I did enjoy both of those movies, so I'm very interested in Nope. I see where it goes. But, like I said, the trailer didn't give me much, definitely dealing with aliens, so whatevs. I'm going to see it no matter what. Anyways, so yeah, cool. But yeah, the other big trailer that dropped during the Super Bowl, right before the Super Bowl started, I believe, was Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, the Sam Raimi directed sequel to the Doctor Strange movie that came out years ago that I saw once in theaters. Yeah. It was an awesome trailer. They only showed like a teaser during the Super Bowl, and that tells you to go online to watch it, because they can't give you the whole trailer right away. You had to go online to freaking watch the thing. And I did go online and watch it once, and I definitely watched the Jurassic World Dominion trailer more, because that's my thing, man. That's my style. We've talked about this before multiple times on the show. If you're new to the show, hey, welcome. Nice. Glad you're here. Hope you stick around. I am crazy. I ramble on a lot, but I welcome you to the show. But anyways, like, DC's my thing. Like, I dive deep into DC and, enjoy those films. Marvel, I've enjoyed in some of them, but I don't dive deep into them. I don't think, all their movies are all that, amazing. But this trailer was really cool. I will say that. I love the horror elements that's being brought to it. Of course, you got Sam Raimi attached to it. You're going to get the horror elements, baby. Great to see Wanda Maximoff always. She's a great character. One of my favorite characters in the MCU. And Doctor Strange is just, this movie's bringing some cool stuff. Now, like I said, I didn't do my own deep dive into this, but what I did do for this show, because I love my people that listen, I went online to look for the Easter eggs that were in the trailer or whatnot. I'm going to go over these with you. Found this on BuzzFeed if you want to check it out for yourself. 23 Multiverse of Madness trailer Easter eggs. Because like I said, I don't, off the top of my head, watching the trailer, I'm not going to pick up on a lot of things. I picked up on one thing after somebody else told me to check it out. But shout out to my buddy Zach from Haunter's Podcast and Zach Speakeasy. Check out both of those shows, both amazing shows. But yeah, I was told by him that Professor Xavier was in the trailer. I'm like, oh, cool. Didn't catch that the first time. Went back, watched the second time. Yes, he was. We'll get to that later, I'm sure, into this thing. But here we go. Jumping into the first one. In the first shot of the trailer, we get a glimpse of the Sanctum Sanctorum as it starts to disappear in what looks like a deadly reality that has been created. Cool. Sounds awesome. Let's see. Second one we got here is you can spot on the back of Doctor Strange's cloak, there appears to be a repaired portion with blue material, which in a previous concept art for Doctor Strange, a blue cloak, jeez, a blue cloak was almost used. Let's see. Also in the trailer, we see a shot of Stephen Strange's watch, broken, which could symbolize how time and space have been fracturing, which if you've been watching the shows and the movies, things are fracturing over there. Let's see, we get a look at America Chavez's signature jean jacket from the Marvel Comics, the star representing her ability to create star-shaped portals that allow her to trek across the multiverse. Let's see, Doctor Strange is performing magic at one point. You can see that he's using red magic, which is typically associated with chaos magic, aka what magic Wanda wields, Wanda Maximoff. So, yeah, there you go. Let's see. This in the trailer, it's the first time we get a glimpse of who appears to be Dr. Christine Palmer's future husband. You spot him standing behind her in the trailer. Let's see, if you look closely, you can see that the tips of Wanda's fingers are turning black, which is the same thing that happened to Agatha when she used the Darkhold in WandaVision. Okay, cool. See, I wouldn't know to pick up on these things. Let's see, number 8. The door we see Doctor Strange, America, and Christine open could finally be giving us a look at the nexus of all realities from the comics. No idea what that means, but right on. Number 9. When Doctor Strange is handcuffed and being walked through a building, he's been flanked by Ultron bots. Was he really? Oh, interesting. Ultron bots. Basically, it looks like we're beginning to see what would happen if Ultron's program was successful and worked. Right, dealing with the multiverse. Okay, gotcha. Like, Ultron's still around, right? Is Ultron gone? I don't know. Could be doing a Marvel rewatch in the future where we can go over these things. But I feel like Ultron just, like, transferred into another bot, right? I don't know. Let's see. Number 10, when we see Doctor Strange walks into this room, you can see several people seated, and a running theory right now is the person all the way on the left could be Reed Richards from the Fantastic Four. It's a little hard to get a clear image, but like this doesn't seem super far-fetched considering a future Fantastic Four movie is in the works. I'm going to add that John Krasinski is the highly rumored person that'll be playing that character. We shall see. Let's see, number 11. This part of the trailer, we get the subtitles say mystery voice. I would recognize this voice anywhere. You would recognize voice anywhere, because it is Patrick Stewart, and it looks like Patrick Stewart's remembrance, reprising his role as Professor Xavier from the X-Men movies. Yeah, interesting that it could be them. It could be like a switch bait, because Marvel is very known for their switch baiting in their trailers. Remember Hulk running with Infinity War with a group of people, and of course he wasn't. So yeah, you gotta take these things with a grain of salt, right? So we'll see what happens there. It could very well be James McAvoy, and they just put Patrick Stewart's voice in there to fuck with you. Who knows? But I would welcome Patrick Stewart back. I was kind of into the idea of getting new actors to play these characters, but can't hate on Patrick Stewart, right? Let's see. Number 12. In the comics, Doctor Strange is part of a group called the Illuminati, which consists of Doctor Strange, Professor Xavier, Reed Richards, Iron Man, Black Bolt, and Namor. Meaning, if this is really Reed and Professor X, then that could be happening in that scene. Another highly rumored situation here is that the man who was originally looked at for Iron Man, Tom the freaking Man Cruise, could be playing Iron Man in this multiverse. So, see how that goes. I am all for that, man. I love Tom Cruise. Let's see, 13. When Doctor Strange and America Chavez are being sliced apart in this dimension, it looks like Strange is made up of himself and the evil version of Doctor Strange, who was previously seen in What If Episode 4. We've seen that image of evil Doctor Strange. He looks very sinister. 14. An evil vision of Doctor Strange also exists in the Marvel Comics. In the comics, there is a necromancer who is an evil version of Steven from Counter-Earth. The necromancer diverged from Steven's path when he decided to kill Baron Mardu, whoever the hell that is, and his adventures basically paralleled his Earth counterpart. Let's see, 15. So now this is where we see something fighting Wanda, and there are several theories of who it could be. For starters, it could be Brie Larson as Captain Marvel, but it also could be an alternate version of, was that Maria Rambeau, who got powers instead of Carol. So, so there's the scene. Again, this is on BuzzFeed. If you search 23 Multiverse of Madness trailer or Easter eggs, you'll see this. Does have a resemblance to a Captain Marvel here. Just don't know which one. All right, let's see. 16. Let's see. Or it could be, let's see, as they're reading, Marie Rambeau, or it could be Monica Rambeau, who got powers just like Carol at the same point in time. So maybe it's Monica Rambeau, maybe it's Maria Rambeau, maybe it's Brie Larson. Who freaking knows? We'll find out soon. And another theory is that it could be Jean Grey, aka Dark Phoenix, from the X-Men universe, who was played by Sophie Turner recently. So, I mean, anything could happen here, man. We got the X-Men characters coming in. This is pretty interesting and thought-provoking, to say the least. 18, Doctor Strange America Chavez, hope I'm saying that last name right, I feel like I am, can be seen in the street fighting what appears to be, I'm gonna fuck this up, Shuma Goroth. Shuma Goroth is a mythical, one-eyed, multiversal tentacle monster who often clashes with Doctor Strange in the comics. And I know another one-eyed freaking monster that was in the Suicide Squad named Starro. Check that movie out if you haven't seen it. Fun times. 19, when Wanda talks to Doctor Strange about becoming, quote, the enemy, it's about a shot-for-shot recreation of the moment at Wanda's farm from the first teaser trailer. This likely means Wanda's farm is a false reality/illusion she has created. I'm excited that Wanda Maximoff's in this movie. I'm excited to get more time with that character, man. Friggin', so much fun to be done there. And I almost called her freaking Mary-Kate Olsen. God damn it. Elizabeth Olsen's been doing a great job. Let's see. 20. Wanda returns to her and Vision's home in Westview, and we see her coming face-to-face with an alternate version of herself. You can see that this version on the living room appears to be a combination of the living room from WandaVision Episode 6 and the final modern living room from Episode 9. Ooh. See, 21, also the alternate version of Wanda touching real Wanda's face is making everybody emotional when they see it, because it's usually what Wanda and Vision did for each other to show affection to calm each other down. 22, at the end of the trailer, we see Doctor Strange, who appears to have aged dramatically, or is a zombie version of himself, having multiple arms, which is something we saw him do in Infinity War. Which is true, we saw the multiple arms things in Infinity War. Probably a callback here. I believe we did get like a zombie shout out in this film. There's definitely a zombie look for sure. Alright, in 23. Let's see. Alright, so they're cheating on this one. In 23, it doesn't actually appear in the trailer, but is in the new poster. If you zoom in, you can see what looks like a glass shard featuring Captain Carter's shield. There have been rumors that Haley Atwell would be reprising her role as Captain Carter after voicing her in the What If series. And there seems to be a slight confirmation. So, looking at the picture, I can't freaking see it. I can't see it at all, to be honest with you, but I could very well be missing it. Yeah, that's for, again, those people that like to deep dive into stuff. And again, if you want to check this out, everything I just read for you is on BuzzFeed. Good job, BuzzFeed. 23 Multiverse of Madness trailer Easter eggs. So there you go, man. Talked about all that stuff. So the two big trailers, Jurassic World Dominion and Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. Check those out if you've not already. Check out the Nope trailer as well, man. Let me know what you think about all three of those movies, as those are three big films that are releasing later this year, in the year of a lot of awesome releases. So, how about we jump into, I guess we were in the news. Those trailers are news-worthy stuff. Let's go ahead and jump into more news as we go into the mandatory DC news. Again, every episode has mandatory DC Comics talk and mandatory horror talk. So, it only feels right after doing all that Marvel talk to get into some DC. Cleanse my palate a little bit. Just kidding. Not really. We're kicking it off with Will Smith has talked a little bit about the David Ayer cut of Suicide Squad, and hoping that it happens while doing press for Bel Air. Which, by the way, watching the Super Bowl, maybe it was just because I was with my brother, hanging out with my brother. Great time hanging out with him this weekend. We were watching the Super Bowl on the Peacock. Maybe it's because Bel Air's on there, but a lot of Bel Air shows. They're really trying to sell that bad boy. Anyways, he said, quote, "Let me tell you, there's a whole lot that stayed on the floor for Suicide Squad." And then when being asked about the Ayer cut, he said, quote, "I'm into it. I love that world. I love what was created in both versions. I absolutely would love to see it." So, again, this is a report that's gone on. Jared Leto's talked about the stuff that was left on the cutting room floor. And now we got Will Smith saying there's a lot of stuff that was left out of the film. I mean, Zack Snyder's Justice League was a huge hit for HBO Max. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. I say this year, release Suicide Squad, man. Go ahead and give it to us. Give us David Ayer's cut of the Suicide Squad. It can't hurt, right? I mean, I know James Gunn, maybe it's a little tricky because, the Suicide Squad is still kind of a thing that's going on. You have the Peacemaker show, which has been fantastic. If you haven't seen the Peacemaker show, what are you doing with your life? Come on. Gotta see it, man. Great show. Greatest freaking intro. Second greatest. Hey, off the top of my head, greatest intro of all time to a TV show is The Addams Family. Never going to be beat. I don't care. But Peacemaker intro, so good. So you got Peacemaker going on. You got the Suicide Squad movie that's kind of fresh in everybody's mind. You got the Suicide Squad game that's coming next year. So maybe it's a little tough to throw this David Ayer cut of the Suicide Squad out there. But at the same time, you're freaking DC, man. You got all these side stories going on now with the Batman that's not connected. It's not freaking connected to anything. Other than just being its own solo adventure. And DC can do stuff like that, man. They can have their connected universe. They can do these solo stories. Like the freaking Joker was awesome. This Batman movie looks like it's going to be awesome. People are trying to get those two movies, the Joker and the Batman, to come together. I don't know if it's going to happen, but it'd be cool if it did. But I don't think it'll make too much sense. But hey, whatever, dude. You give me a good movie, I'm in. So yeah, we'll see what happens with the David Ayer cut of Suicide Squad. We eventually got to see this thing, right? Let's see. So yeah, that does it with the Suicide Squad. We'll see what happens there. Other news, we've got Robert Pattinson talking about the Batman film that's coming up, as well as what he would like to see in a sequel. Starting off with his hopes for a sequel, he says, quote, "I'd love to do something like The Court of Owls." Which would be cool, man. Court of Owls has been something that's been brought up a lot. They're a part of, I get the name of this damn game wrong, Gotham Knights, right? Not Arkham Knights, Gotham Knights game. So that's going to be part of it, which, probably could lead into, and probably, a good thing happening with a sequel. People are going to be, more in debt, and I believe Gotham touched on the Court of Owls at one point in time. I need to go back and watch that Gotham show. But, pretty much the Court of Owls is like a secret organization that was hidden for a while. In Gotham, they finally came out, Batman goes back, discovers a conspiracy, going back to his youth, and, the origins of the city and all this stuff. Very interesting stuff. So it'd be really cool if they decided to jump into that. I'm all for it, and I'm all for anything Batman, let's be honest. Adding on to what some of the Batman talk for the movie that's getting ready to come out, he said there are elements, quote, "there are elements of the Batman which are kind of horror, and I think it really feels quite new for Batman." Continuing to add, saying, quote, "more, Bruce thinks it's his city in a weird sort of way. He thinks it's kind of he built it. He has the money and the castle. He'll learn the hard way that he has absolutely no control or power over anything in the city." Which, again, of course, could go back to the Court of Owls if they go into a sequel. So, very interesting. God, I'm so ready for this movie, man. This movie's going to be so freaking awesome from everything I've seen in the trailer. I'm trying not to hype myself up too much, but I can't think of a reason this movie would not be freaking spectacular. And, of course, it is hitting theaters on March 4th. I will be in there losing my mind. Alright, that does it for the mandatory DC talk. Let's jump into a galaxy far, far away, shall we? With Obi-Wan Kenobi officially having its streaming debut date known. Remember last episode we talked about the rumor that it would be releasing in May, which would make sense because May is, of course, the Star Wars month, if you will, because of the May the 4th. Yeah, but we now know that Obi-Wan Kenobi, the limited series, will be streaming starting May 25th on the Disney Plus. Give that a check out. I'm excited for it, man. We got some Obi-Wan versus Darth Vader going on in this bad boy, so I'm into it. Let's see. Other Star Wars news is a rumor, very interesting rumor, if I do say so myself, involving Daisy Ridley. Apparently, according to this rumor, she has signed a deal that would see her be involved in at least 3 more Star Wars projects. The specifics about the comeback have not been disclosed. Now, of course, Daisy Ridley played Rey in the newest trilogy in the Star Wars franchise, which ended with the Rise of Skywalker, which was the end of the Skywalker saga. Not necessarily the end of Rey's saga. So, Rey could be coming back. It's not known if it'll be movies, TV show, who knows. Star Wars is freaking kicking out the jams with these Star Wars shows that I haven't seen a single second of, but I hear good things. But I'm into it, man. I like Rey. I'm a fan of the Rey character. I know that the newer trilogy has been hit with a lot of hate, but that's what fan bases do, I guess. I've enjoyed every Star Wars movie I watched, I'm not gonna lie. Because guess what? Watching a Star Wars movie, I'm having a good time. So this is, it's the same way I look at DC. I'm like, it's Batman. I'm happy, dude. I mean, even, I don't know, maybe I should hold my tongue a little bit there. I was about to say something good about Batman and Robin. Maybe there is something good about Batman and Robin. I just don't know off the top of my head. But at the same time, it's Batman, dude. It's Wonder Woman. It's freaking Superman. I love it. Star Wars, like, this is cool. This is awesome. Cool. I'm having a good time. Like, that's what it's about, man. Just having a good time. I know, like, the super hardcore fans are going to whine and complain and say that, oh, Disney ruined our franchise or so-and-so ruined our franchise. No, man. It's the fan base that ruins things because they just whine and complain over and over again. Let's see. Moving along. Russell Crowe. We're out of the Star Wars universe now. Russell Crowe, the Oscar-winning actor, is joining Marvel's Sony film Kraven the Hunter. Sorry, I had to back that up. Sony's Marvel film, Kraven the Hunter. Details are being kept under wraps. Many of the main characters being reported are said to be part of Kraven's family, so Russell Crowe could be playing Kraven's father in the film. Now, if you're not up to date with Kraven the Hunter, like myself, Kraven the Hunter, whose real name is Sergei, I guess, Kravinoff. He was first introduced in the Amazing Spider-Man number 15 back in 1964. As his moniker suggests, he's a hunter with a superhuman ability to track his prey. More than 20 years later, his definitive story, Kraven's Last Hunt, became a landmark moment in Spider-Man's long and increasingly complicated canon. The Kraven the Hunter film is expected to release January 13th, 2023. We'll see if things stay on track. Still waiting for a freaking Morbius movie. Got plenty of Venom movies, but still waiting for that Morbius movie. But Kraven the Hunter is on track for the next film in Sony's Spider-Man universe. So we'll see how that turns out. More Marvel. God, I'm talking a lot of Marvel in this episode. Deadline is reporting that Netflix's license for Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, The Punisher, Iron Fist, and The Defenders. I've seen maybe 2 of those shows. Apparently the contract license has run out. Meaning the rights will be reverting back to Disney, meaning that the shows could possibly be added to Hulu or Disney Plus in the future. They are, I believe, more adult in content, so probably Hulu. Like I said, I think I saw the first season of Daredevil. I watched both seasons of The Punisher. Punisher had 2 seasons, right? Or am I just being an ass? It had 2, yeah. I don't know. But I enjoyed it. Punisher's cool, man. John Bernthal, yeah. Bring him back, dude. I mean, cool. They have the rights back. I guess we can expect these characters to show up more in the MCU, as well as the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, freaking Blade. All these things are coming into the MCU, man. They're doing some stuff over there. Let's see, Blade Runner. If you're a fan of that, you will be happy to know that Amazon Studios is developing a live-action series based on the property. Cool. I'm not crapping on it, but I'm not really versed in the Blade Runner history. I believe I saw the first movie. I do remember seeing the second movie. It was long. Very long. But, futuristic, looked cool and all that stuff, so cool. Getting a new show over there at Amazon Studios. Let's see, speaking of TV shows, we're now into the mandatory horror talk. Season 1 of the Chucky series, the amazing Chucky series, which is also on Peacock, will be arriving on Blu-ray and digital April 12th. I do not buy many physical copies of things anymore, but I will be, without a shadow of a doubt, purchasing that because I am a huge Chucky fan. That is my horror icon, and I love collecting things. Chucky, got multiple Funko Pops, I got all the movies, got freaking shirts, I've got the glass from Halloween Horror Nights. Love my Chucky, man, so I'm definitely going to buy that and put it right there next to the films as I celebrate my horror icon. And the last bit of news and last bit of horror news here is if you are interested in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game, then I've got some news for you on that game, as the game will have a 3 versus 4 match structure, meaning you'll be dealing with 3 killers instead of 1. Remember, this game is created by the same people who created the Friday the 13th game, and you remember in that game you could either play as Jason killing people, or you can play as one of the counselors trying to survive the night. This time you're going to be dealing with 3 killers, because you remember, back in that original film, you're dealing with an entire family, not just Leatherface. So it makes sense to have 3 killers chasing after you as the victim. I don't know if I'm going to play this game. Maybe I'll end up playing it, like if I get, like playing with friends or something like that. I got the Friday the 13th game. I had some fun with it, but at the same time, I sucked ass at that. And I can see how it's a lot more fun playing with friends, but I didn't have that great of a time playing it. So maybe I'm a little just jaded, if you will, about the whole situation. I don't know if jaded is the right word, but I'm using it. But yeah, I mean, we'll see how that goes. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise to begin with, so, buying that game wouldn't really make a whole lot of sense for me, but who knows, dude? We'll see. Which is actually pretty freaking good segue here, as we enter the things that are releasing this week, and I guess might as well start it off here. Texas Chainsaw Massacre has a new film in his franchise yet again, which will be releasing this week on the Netflix. It is, of course, a horror thriller. It's rated R. It's 1 hour and 23 minutes. Wow. Not a long movie. Let's see. Influencers looking to breathe new life into a Texas ghost town encounter Leatherface, legendary killer who wears a mask made of human skin or flesh. Whatever. Human skin, flesh, same fucking thing, but, flesh sounds a little more gory. But yeah, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, another film coming from that franchise that has been rebooted and retooled and re-released over and over and over again, it seems like the last couple of years. Will this time finally be a hit for him? Who knows? But will I be watching it? Yes, sure. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise, but I'll check it out, man. I'll give it a little check ski, see how it goes. And, report back on it in a future episode, because there's a lot of things coming out. Like I mentioned, freaking Uncharted comes out this weekend, which, bring that up next. Uncharted, PG-13, action-adventure, 1 hour, 56 minutes. This will be only in theaters. Street smart thief Nathan Drake, played by Tom Holland, is recruited by seasoned treasure hunter Victor Sully Sullivan, played by Mark Wahlberg, to recover a fortune lost by Ferdinand Magellan 500 years ago. What starts as a heist job for the duo becomes a globe-trotting white-knuckle race to reach the prize before the ruthless Mikado, played by Antonio Banderas, who believes he and his family are the rightful heirs. If Nate and Sully can decipher the clues and solve one of the world's oldest mysteries, they stand to find $5 billion in treasure and perhaps even Nate's long-lost brother, but only if they can learn to work together. I'm going to see this movie this week. I am so worried about this, y'all. Like, I cannot even begin to explain to you. I know there's been a lot of people like video games turning into movies, like, I don't like it. And some of them probably do work out, but like, I've always been like, whatever, I get it. It's hard to transfer a video game into a movie and all that stuff. And at the same time, I'm not like connected to those, I played Mortal Kombat, but it being turned into a movie is not going to be like, but yeah, this one is just, I love that Uncharted franchise to death, man. I've played it over and over and over again throughout the years, and just, I'm like, let's be safe with this, man. Come on, man. Let's not mess this up. And then every trailer I've seen, I'm like, I mean, every one of them is like, I'm not the biggest Mark Wahlberg fan in the world, and I don't see him playing Sully, and he just, when I see the trailer, I see freaking everything Mark Wahlberg has always done, with the exception of like Rockstar or Fear, and then Tom Holland just looks like Tom Holland. I mean, it's Peter Parker up there, dude. It's like, it's, I don't know, man. I can't fully judge it without saying it, but I don't have the highest of hopes for this, and it really hurts my heart, because I love that series so freaking much, man. So we'll see how that goes. That'll be the review for next week. And there's other stuff coming out. Like I said, Texas Chainsaw Massacre's coming out. Definitely want to talk about that. Kimmy just came out on freaking HBO Max over the weekend. I want to check that out. That looks interesting. A lot of stuff to talk about, man. Definitely got some content for the next couple of weeks here. Unless, more films are coming out. But yeah, there you go. Uncharted's coming out this week. Dog, starring Channing Tatum, is coming out this week. It's PG-13. It's 1 hour and 41 minutes. That seems way too long for this movie. This will be in theaters. Dog is a buddy comedy that follows the misadventures of two former Army Rangers paired against their will on a road trip of a lifetime. Army Ranger Briggs, who is Channing Tatum, and Lulu, a dog, buckle into a 1984 Ford Bronco and race down the Pacific coast in hopes of making it to a fellow soldier's funeral on time. Along the way, they'll drive each other completely crazy, break a small handful of laws, narrowly evade death, and learn to let down their guards in order to have a fighting chance of finding happiness. I will not be seeing this movie in theaters. I will maybe see it eventually? Question mark. I don't know. I'm not one of those people that is a huge Channing Tatum fan. I did not fall into that fan base. I don't get it. I don't hate the guy. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, I don't get it. Yeah, so we'll see. But yeah, Dog is releasing this week. Let's see. Also releasing this week. The Cursed, which is rated R, horror, mystery, thriller, the trifecta, baby. 1 hour and 52 minutes. This is also in theaters. Dog is only in theaters as well. Let's see. The Cursed. In the late 1800s, a once peaceful remote country village is under attack. But by who or what? No one knows. Villagers spread rumors of a cursed land, supernatural forces, and even demonic creatures as the disappearance and killings continue. Pathologist John McBride arrives to investigate the danger, only to discover something much deeper and more sinister than he even could have imagined. Ooh, The Curse. That sounds fun. God, I might be going to the theaters a couple times. I need to buy the freaking Regal Pass, man. Let's see. The Ledge, rated R, action, mystery, thriller. 1 hour, 26 minutes. This will be in theaters and streaming. A rock climbing adventure between two friends turns into a terrifying nightmare. After Kelly captures the murder of her best friend on camera, she becomes the next target of a tight-knit group of friends who will stop at nothing to destroy the evidence and anyone in their way. Desperate for her safety, she begins a treacherous climb up a mountain cliff, and her survival instincts are put to the test when she becomes trapped with the killers just 20 feet away. Holy hell. That doesn't sound too bad. So there you go, man. Yeah, there you go. So that's what's releasing this week. That is the news for this episode, and I just remembered off the top of my head as I'm recording this episode that as of the recording this episode, it is my 2-year anniversary of doing this show, man. This show's 2 years old, baby. Wow, what an adventure it has been. Crazy, learning a lot as the years have gone by. I will say I definitely feel a lot more confident, a lot more comfortable now than I did when I was starting the show. Going into the solo podcast world was definitely a change for me. Didn't do much podcasting before. I did have the Disnoid show with my brother before I went on this adventure, but man, it was a leap of faith, if you will, jumping into the show, because I love talking movies and just having an outlet to talk about that. And then, of course, now as the years have gone by, I've added, WWE talk and video game talk to this, and music talk. Fucking A, I did a Taylor Swift episode. Yeah. So it's been a great adventure. I will say, going back and listen to those early episodes, very rough, man. I feel bad for anybody who joined the show then. It's definitely a guy who doesn't fully know what he's doing. But yeah, now, 2 years in, I feel a lot better about where I'm going. Still messing up names, but hey, that's, what can I do? But, I'm having a good time doing the show. It's definitely become less of a work and more of a, having a good time and fun, enjoying it. And I'm appreciative of all the people who've been here the whole 2 years. How you survived those first couple episodes, I will never know, but I appreciate you. And I'm glad you're here and sharing it and sharing the show with your friends would be awesome. If you get the show out there and talk to your friends, be like, hey man, check out this freaking goofball who's talking about movies and WWE and stuff, man. It's a good time. And I'm enjoying what I'm doing here. So again, I appreciate all of you that have been on the ride, on the journey here. Definitely not ending anytime soon. Definitely got some interesting things coming up, actually, very soon to talk about with you guys. So yeah, to think about it, 2 years in now, this show's still running. Again, I feel a little bit better and more confident doing the show. I've got a Patreon out there with a couple of shows going on it. And like I said, there's something coming soon to talk about with y'all as well, and that I'm super excited about, and just thinking, now just 2 years into this and thinking about where it's gone and things have picked up and how it's going. It's very, very cool, man. Very cool, and I'm very appreciative and excited about the things to come with the show. So again, love you all, and I appreciate your support here. But it's not the end of the show, my babies. We still got a review to go over here. So, as you know, if you've been listening to the show for a while, gonna go ahead and take a pause here, and then I'm gonna put the cue up our trailer for this week's review of Death on the Nile. Hang tight, my babies. Right, trailer time. Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the newlyweds, Mr. and Mrs. Simon Doyle.
You must meet Hercule Poirot.
My congratulations, madame.
Merci.
He's only the greatest detective alive.
I suspect you invited me for reasons other than the fun.
You had something to hide. We have the Karnak all to ourselves, a chef and enough champagne to fill the Nile.
Should have hidden it, shouldn't you?
When you have money, no one is ever really your friend.
It's too late to change events. It's time to face the consequence.
Someone is dead. The crime is murder.
Never again is what
The murderer is one of you. Were you aware of any grudges?
Madame is used to getting what she wants.
Never again is what you
I don't feel safe here.
the time before.
I don't feel safe with any of them.
There are so many conflicting hates and jealousies.
Oh, I like this.
Did you see or hear anything?
I did not trust her. I still don't.
What did you do last night?
You accused me of murder.
He accuses everyone of murder.
It is a problem, I admit. The murder was methodically planned.
Find who did this.
You are mad. Can I not trust you?
What do you want me to say?
Someone else is dead.
You lie in my face! Lock the doors!
The murderer is here. And will stay here.
Alright, man, so that was the trailer for Death on the Nile. It is PG-13 for violence, some bloody images, and sexual material. It is a crime mystery thriller that is 2 hours and 7 minutes in time. Rotten Tomatoes has the film at a critic score of 66%, while the audience score is higher at an 82%, and IMDb has it at a 6.7 out of 10. An Egyptian vacation aboard a glamorous river steamer turns into a terrifying search for a murderer when a picture-perfect couple's idyllic honeymoon is tragically cut short. Set against an epic landscape of sweeping desert vistas in the majestic Giza pyramids, god dang it, pyramids, this tale of unbridled passion and incapacitating jealousy features a cosmopolitan group of impeccably dressed travelers and enough wicked twists and turns to leave audiences guessing until the final shocking conclusion. Alright, man. So, going into the movie, 3 things why I wanted to see this movie. 1, most important reason, it is a crime, mystery, thriller, murder mystery movie. Fucking love those. Into it, man. Enjoy those movies a lot. Big time. Like, those are freaking, that's fun time for me, man. I like those movies when they're done right. Second thing, Gal Gadot. Love her. Mwah. Wonder Woman. Absolutely love her. And then 3, freaking Russell Brand, dude. Russell Brand's in the movie. I like Russell Brand. He's funny. Funny guy, right? You know? And I haven't thought of really anything else he's been in lately. It seems like he's kind of, you know, focusing on his I don't know if it would count as like a YouTube show or Instagram show. I don't even know if it's on YouTube. I know it's Instagram. He's always doing like motivational stuff. So, didn't know if he like gave up acting or stopped acting for a while or whatever. But it was really cool to see him in this movie as well. So those are the three things going into the movie that I was like really into and interested in. And I went to the movie. And the movie starts off, and I went to the movie with my buddy, and we're like, are we watching the wrong movie right now? Are they playing the wrong movie? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, the movie starts off in like the most like not expected way, I guess is the best way to put it. You're like totally out of left field. It's like, I don't know what's happening. what does this have to do with anything? Eventually you learn that it's like a backstory to one of the characters, and you're like, oh, okay. But at the same time, at the beginning of that movie, it throws you off so much. It's like, what is going on here? And for a while, you're sitting there kind of awkward, like, do I need to go talk to the people working downstairs? Like, hey, you turned the wrong movie on. Fortunately, that was not the case. It was just a weird opening. But other than that, that was the only, maybe not the only weird moment. We'll touch on this later. But that was only one of the moments when I was watching the film that I was like, you know, I was a little thrown off, right? Other than that, I really honestly enjoyed this movie. I had a really good time with it. I think the way it's done was really good. You know, I'm not one of those people that talks about like looks of films and cinematography and all that stuff. I leave that for people who, you know, care enough to talk about that stuff. I'm just there to watch the movie, man, and talk about, you know, the acting and the story and all that stuff. Which, by the way, I liked the story. I know this isn't, you know, like a remake film. And, by the way, it is a sequel. Death on the Nile is a sequel to, what the hell was the name of that movie? Murder on the Orient Express. It came out in 2017. So, you know, it's a sequel to that. And I haven't seen Murder on the Orient Express in a while, so I wouldn't have caught on to that either, you know, at the moment. I had a feeling like there was like this little bit of thought in my head, like, is this related to the Murder on the Orient Express? And then, of course, freaking, you know, it is. So, and of course, this is, you know, movies or books and, you know, previous writings and all that stuff. It's had other film adaptations and everything. So, you're going to have the people out there like, it's not my version of the movie. You know, those people who hate remakes, like, freaking, for whatever reason. So, there's that. Me, personally, like I said, I enjoyed the movie. I think it's very well acted. It does look great. Again, I'm not a cinematographer person, but it does have a really good look to it. I will say there's points where the camera's like very zoomed in on people's faces, and I'm like, I don't need that. You know, let's back the camera up just a little bit here. It's very weird, like camera changes there and all that stuff. But like, again, I'm not here for the cinematography talk. You know, I think I just, you know. I think the story's fine. It's good. And I like the mystery aspect of it, man. It kind of does keep you guessing for a while. You have, like, your thought and your feeling of who it is. And then, you know, you're kind of like, I don't know, maybe it's this other person. Or, you know what, maybe they're trying to lead you in a different direction here and not make you think it's this person. So maybe it is that person, but maybe it's not, man. Maybe it's this other person over here. This other person looking kind of shady too, you know. There's some shady business going on. I like that. I like that aspect of the film where you're kind of like, oh, you know, it could be any one of these fuckers, you know. So yeah, I like that. It's very well acted throughout the film. I think everybody gives a really good performance. So yeah, dude. I mean, I can't dive into too much of it. The mystery of it's good. The acting's really good. Like I said, there is some violence in there. There is some bloody images in there. So, you know, be forewarned. But overall, I mean, it's a very well done movie. And as of now, I've seen 2 movies this year. And I'm going to actually put it ahead of Scream, man. I think I did enjoy this movie more than Scream. So, as of right now, Death on the Nile is number 1 for me. And my freaking weird worries of Uncharted, Death on the Nile may still stay number 1 for me this year, for the year so far. There's a lot of movies still to come out this year, so it's gonna fall eventually, but not really its fault, man. I think it's an enjoyable movie. I had a really good time with it, and I will gladly watch it again whenever it is released on streaming services. Now, I mentioned a weird instance earlier, and I'm going back and forth about whether I really want to talk about this or not, but I feel like it's probably something that should be talked about. So what I'm going to talk about does involve some graphic content. It's not about the movie scenes or anything to do with the movie. It's not a spoiler for the movie at all. I don't do that. but it has to deal with one of the actors in the movie. And that was like nervous laughter because I really don't know how this is going to go off when we're talking about this. So before we go into that, go ahead and, like I said, it does involve some graphic content. If you don't want to hear graphic things, I completely understand. I'll go ahead and give our close here now for you people that want to drop off here. Appreciate you listening to me. Thank you for being a part of these 2 years. As always, remember that happiness can be found even in the darkest of times if one remembers to turn on the light. I will talk to you all next week. As for the people who are staying along, let's give it about 5 seconds here before I start talking about this thing that needs to be talked about. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. So for those of you who are sticking along, the weird aspect of this movie that I didn't catch on to, and again, like I mentioned earlier, the things I was interested in: murder mystery, Gal Gadot, Russell Brand, right? I did not know. I didn't think about it. Completely forgot about it. Armie Hammer's in this movie, and Armie Hammer is somebody who's hit a very scandalous road. Going back to January of 2021, I'm going to go through some of the stuff that's gone on with him, and kind of what he's going through here, because it's at the moment we don't know if it's true or false. So I didn't realize it when I was watching the movie. I'm like, I saw the guy on screen. I'm like, that's that Armie Hammer guy, right? And I remember he was in some kind of trouble, but I was like, and then I started going in my head, okay, well, this is an older movie, and it probably got postponed and all that stuff. And then I started going through my head. I'm like, I don't remember seeing him all that much in the trailer, and I don't see him all that much in the publicity, right? I mean, there's nothing. If you look at it now on Facebook or whatever friggin' social media thing you're on, they don't show him. They don't show him at all. And in that trailer I was just playing for you, it just, which according to YouTube was posted a month ago, barely in it. You very rarely see him, and I'm gonna go tell you now, he's one of the main characters in the movie. I mean, all the characters are pretty much main characters in the movie. So yeah, it was interesting, and it led me to want to look up what's going on there, because like I said, I remember there was like an issue with him. There was a scandal with him, which a lot of scandals have been coming out with celebrities recently. So it's like, what actually is it? And like I said, it didn't necessarily ruin the movie for me that he was in it. And I guess it's probably because things are still open. We don't know what's true and what's not. But I mean, the movie overall is a very good movie. Like I said earlier, all the performances in the movies are really good. So, it's one of those films, like, makes me wonder, like, am I a bad person for thinking like he was good in the movie? But at the same time, nothing's known about whether this stuff is true or not. So, going into this, like I mentioned, this graphic content, talk about here for a little bit. So, we're going to go back to January 2021. There was an Instagram page that shared a collection of messages that were supposedly from Armie Hammer, which date from 2016 and 2020, in which he exposed some pretty perverse fantasies that he had. One reading, quote, "I am 100% a cannibal. I want to eat you." Yeah. And then, "I've never admitted that before," end quote. And another one, he stated, quote, "I need to eat your entire body," end quote. Third one saying, quote, "I want to touch every part of you inside and out. I want to bite pieces off of you," end quote. There were countless others in a similar vein, though they haven't been authenticated as belonging to Armie Hammer or not. So, the world we live in, you've got to listen to all sides and all stories. We do have to listen to the people who are, reporting these things, but we also have to listen to the other person that's involved in this as well, right? Because we very much live in a world where, actors, we've seen it hundreds of times where people are accused of things that they've never done just because they're an actor and it's easy money. But, at the same time, you got to listen to all sides of the story here. Maybe he did write this stuff, maybe he didn't. Nothing has been authenticated, right? But this, of course, set off a freaking firestorm against Armie Hammer. He is, dropped out of multiple films. He either dropped out or was released from multiple films. recast, redone, reshot. They couldn't do that here with this movie because, again, he was one of the main film characters, and not really easy to just, up and replace and redo and all that stuff. So as things went on, more women have come out saying, one being his ex, which said, quote, "He said to me he wants to break my rib, barbecue it, and eat it." Another former flame of his said that he carved an A into her pubic area, and that he was telling me he can remove the bottom ribs so he can smoke them, cook them, and then eat them. He kept saying, "You don't need them." Again, accusations. Don't know if this is 100% true or not. Which doesn't help. At the same time, Armie Hammer is going through a divorce and a custody battle with his wife. And of course, that's going to spread throughout the internet, and, memes are going to be made and all that stuff. So, again, accusations, blah, 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 moving forward. When he departed the movie Shotgun Wedding, he released a public announcement saying, "I'm not responding to these bullshit claims, but in the light of the vicious online attacks against me, I cannot in good conscience now leave my children for 4 months to shoot a film in the Dominican Republic." His lawyer also went on to say these assertions about Mr. Hammer are potentially untrue, which potentially is an interesting choice of word there. Nope, that's not the right word. Sorry. So anyways, patently untrue is what he put. Any interactions with this person or other parties of his were completely consensual, and that they were fully discussed, agreed upon, and mutually participatory. The stories being perpetuated in the media are a misguided attempt to present a one-sided narrative with the goal of tarnishing Mr. Hammer's reputations, and communications from the individuals involved prove that. So there you go. So there's two sides here. So they're denying anything to do with that. I apologize for getting the word wrong there. This, of course, continues to go on with his prime accuser coming forward and charging him with rape, thereby instigating an LAPD investigation. Now, in response to this personal and professional catastrophe, Jesus, Armie Hammer did go to a rehab facility for treatment for sex, drug, and alcohol issues, in which he completed his program in December of 2021. Which brings us to, of course, close to the release of Death on the Nile. And also brings us news that the Los Angeles District Attorney doesn't seem apt to press charges against the actor for rape. So, is there not enough information here? I mean, maybe not. Like I mentioned here, earlier when I was talking about Death on the Nile, he's not in any of the press for the film, other than, them bringing up this stuff right here. But, we don't know what's going on there. There's nothing to really go on here. There is accusations that should be taken serious, but you also need to listen to the person that's being accused of something and see if there's any substantial evidence to prove that he is absolutely the one who sent these things. I mean, it's very easy to, write something and say somebody sent it to you. It's not that hard to do. So, you gotta wait and see what happens here, right? If he is guilty of doing this stuff, then I wish him the most severe punishment of all punishments. You should not ever rape anybody. That's unforgivable. It's unforgivable. So, you have the LAPD doing an investigation. With that said, at the same time, you have the LA District Attorney not pressing any charges against the actor for rape. So, we're left in this situation of, gotta wait and see where, this goes. It's very serious accusations. But, doesn't look like they are fully going through with an investigation or not. It's in a weird situation right now, which has probably led to the lackluster box office for Death on the Nile, maybe. But again, like I mentioned before, the marketing doesn't really show him all that much. Again, that trailer I played doesn't really have him all that much in it. Everything I've seen on, social media avoid showing him. I don't think, come to think of it, I follow Gal Gadot on Instagram. I don't think she's shared a thing about this movie being out, so that's a little interesting in itself. So yeah, man, it's a situation right now. And of course people are seeing the box office like, it's not making that much money. Maybe it, sucks as a movie, which, is a philosophy I don't partake in. I really honestly don't care how much money a movie makes. To me, that doesn't matter. Well, not necessarily matter, obviously. If a movie makes good money, that's a good thing. But I don't think it matters in how good the movie is or isn't. I don't think a movie making a lot of money means it's a good movie. It just means people went to see it. Which, probably could be good word of mouth and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, I would much rather watch a movie based on, the synopsis rather than the money it made. If you know what I'm saying. So, we'll see, where all these things go. At the end of it all, if he is found guilty, then he deserves to, no pun intended, have the hammer dropped on him. Because rape is unforgivable. Cannibalism, I mean, it's unforgivable. So, you have to wait and see where that goes. As for the movie itself, I enjoyed it. I guess it seems weird to jump back into that after talking about the whole situation there, but I felt it probably was necessary to bring up in a way. We'll see how things go. If you want to see the movie, if you don't want to see the movie because he's in it, I guess it's understandable. It's a weird situation, man. We see a lot of people in Hollywood getting accused of things lately. Some are guilty, some are not, but they still have to deal with people thinking they're guilty even though proven innocent. I don't know. That's it's a very, very sticky situation. So we gotta see where it goes from here. I don't know much about Armie Hammer. I haven't really followed his career all that much. I know he was in that movie with Johnny Depp. What was it, Lone Ranger? I believe he was in. I don't know a whole lot of his movies. He was in. I know there's another movie I saw this guy in. Let me. He was like a Man from U.N.C.L.E. There we go. He was in that. So I don't know, man. We'll see where it goes. I just gotta. Again, if you don't want to see the movie because he's in it, that's, it can be understandable with the accusations put against him. If you want to see the movie, I say check it out, man. It's a good movie. I'm closer to the audience's score of 82% than I am with the Rotten Tomatoes score. And again, like I said, I personally, the movie itself, what we're, there for the movie, it's good in my opinion. So yeah, Death on the Nile, I say, it's weird. Depending on how you feel about Armie Hammer and everything, is going to decide if you're going to see this movie either way. But I say check it out. I think it's a good movie, and at the moment, it's number 1 on my 2022 list. Nothing against Scream. You can go listen to my review of Scream. On the previous episode, but I enjoyed this movie just a little bit more. So that'll do it, man. That does it for this episode. 2 years of podcasting, man. What a time. So excited about what the future can hold. Can't wait to talk about the things to come very soon, man. Getting close to some interesting information to drop on yous. So anyways, let's close this thing out. Appreciate all of you joining in. We will be back next week for the next episode Freaking Riverdale Rob, still nowhere to be found. Which stinks, man, because I did watch the first 3 episodes of that show and really enjoyed it. And I want to go back, and there's just so much content out now for me to just take in. And, you know, I've been watching Peacemaker, which has been a great show. And then obviously recently been watching the Boris Karloff freaking collection on Shudder, which is awesome. And, you know, actually we can talk about that for a second before we close this out. I watched, the next movie in order of release was The Mummy. And I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it. I've watched 3 of the movies now in the collection, which were, as mentioned, The Mummy. I watched Frankenstein and The Old Dark House. And if I was going to rank them at the moment of the 3 I've watched, at 3 I would have The Mummy. 2 I would actually have Frankenstein, and 1 I would have The Old Dark House. I really enjoyed that movie. Not ever hearing about it. The first time I heard about it was during the Boris Karloff documentary that's on Shudder. I checked it out and I enjoyed it, man. I like the feel of the movie. It definitely has that thriller, feel to it. And, you know, there's some comedy in it too, man. It's a pretty good comedy. I laughed a good couple times during that thing, so definitely suggest checking out The Old Dark House as well. Dude, just get Shudder. It's the best streaming service in the world. Other than that, man, let's go ahead and close this out. Happy 2 years to me. Clap, 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 clap. Happy 2 years to you who've been around since the beginning. Again, I don't know how you did it. Those first episodes are rough, man. They are rough. But you live, you learn, you progress. So, here we go. That does it for this week's episode. Always love closing out with this quote because it means so much to me. Talk to you all next episode. And remember, that happiness can be found even in the darkest of times if one remembers to turn on the light. Talk to you all next episode. Thank you for joining me this week. Make sure you hit the subscribe button to get updates on all new episodes. As well, follow me on Twitter at review_it_Rob. Stay tuned for more adventures.